loose heads love this. Okay, every Saturday, so I've got my hooker there, he sets up, and this bloke comes in, he grabs hold of this guy, and he does this, and he fucking moves him around like this, and then he fucking does this. We can get nice and tight without having to disturb him. Okay. Mate, I say all the time, it's like a peacock trying to get a root. There's all this stuff going on, the feathers are out. We just want us to try and stay very, very relaxed. Okay, so our hooker sets himself up. Now at the moment, if you see this in Super Rugby, and every time you want to jump in, Hass, okay, the hookers in Super Rugby have quite a big, long split in their stance. So I think at our level, guys, we don't necessarily need that. Okay, we can get sort of more like that. We're actually going to be a little bit stronger and obviously a bit more balanced. Okay, everyone understands why we have that right leg forward. Holds the weight. It's also one to strike. Okay, so look, if you do see the Super Rugby stuff, they call that the break foot. Effectively, that's the break for the whole scrum. I think at our level, you can probably not have as large a split, but it's where you're comfortable. Okay, so he sets up with his feet. Okay, where's his heel pointing, guys? He fixed it. Yeah, okay, look, we want everything square, we want everything flowing in a straight line, okay? So, like, as soon as you squared up your heel, he lost a bit of balance, so instead of setting up, just go a touch wider with it, okay? You get a touch wide, it's your time, it's your scrum. Okay, and at some point, does he need to have his arms up and all this sort of stuff? Who cares? Doesn't matter. As long as he's nice and relaxed. Alright? But I'd like to see generally from here a little bit of chest already. Okay? Just so you saw Hass the other night with Stephen Ball. Come on, mate. Come on, Steve, I'll take it. That wasn't it? Good. Righto. So he's nice and relaxed, he's ready to rock and roll. And we bring the loose head in, guys. Pretty simple. Okay? Just try and think about his inside foot next to the hooker's left one. We just plant the foot. Then we take our bind. Okay? Legally we can bind anywhere from up here all the way down to shorts jersey where they meet. Okay? My preference is that we bind up high, and I'll show you why in a minute. I just got your nipple. That was good bit. It's cold out here. Okay? So I come in, foot, grab up reasonably high here somewhere. Okay? Then I bring that foot through. And then I take my shoulder. Now at the moment, we just stand up. Okay, at the moment, that's nice and square. Okay, I pop my shoulder through. That's fine, no issues. Having my shoulder in that sort of position there is going to help me stay fairly square. Alternatively, I might want to hide my shoulder, which is legal as well. I can do that. Okay, what's the benefit of this? Yeah, it makes life pretty hard for the opposition tight head. Doesn't necessarily assist me with staying square though. Okay, Hendo's got a pretty happy medium, so he hides a bit of it, doesn't he? Okay, absolutely, mate.
So just one thing which we sort of lost touch on from where we were inside, and it's a focus first thing in my mindset when I go to the scrum is that duck ass. So having that part of your back, that's the first bit that goes when you're under a bit of duress in the scrum. You tend to just sort of go in that comfy position. So to get in that position early, so when I set up as a hooker, I'm straight into that split stance, but my back's always got that duck ass, so I expect the next thing, and then I can just go in from there. So if we both go in sloppy, so you bind on me, like sloppy, so and we get in that position, we're already sort of united in the wrong position, so you need to start with that early. And the other thing, just on a bind, so come in Super Rugby and also potentially in Club Rugby, we don't even use our grips, really. Where we get the tension from and the grip is, I can actually pull him in here like that. So the fingers are just the end of the whole movement. So
just spin around and go, mate. Just go with your arm. It looks good to me.
Beautiful.
Now talk to the group, mate.
Historically, this is what we've all thought of as a good grip in the scrum, has been that. In essence, true. We know we get our strength is just the tension you give, so it's actually coming in there like that. So I can actually tack a scrum, and I'm doing the same on this side, nothing to do with me. It's coming together like that. get and the way the game's going sometimes from the club level, because I've played, is that you'll go like that and you pull, and that's when you lose it, and then you just, everything just goes in. So to counter that happening, when you hear grips, it's more tension and bringing it in like that, rather than pulling it together. That might help some of you.
Loose head jump in. Okay, next man that comes in, guys, is the tight head. So hooker sets up. Remember, has his duck ass. Beautiful. Foot. We've got a bind. We've got a foot. We've got a shoulder. Okay, still a tendency there to do that. We still want to stay fairly balanced. Let's get the tight head, guys. He binds generally on the back left hip, but he can bind around near the arse crack. He binds first. Okay, so he'll get his bind, and then basically what we're trying to achieve is that foot. Inside foot goes up near his front foot. Okay, so I get that. Outside foot comes to square, then the shoulder comes in, and away we go. Okay, now that was fairly relaxed. Okay, from there, as Hass just talked about, I can use my wrist, I can use my grip, but I'm fairly square. I'm pretty happy. I've got this shoulder through. Make sense? Okay. Can you guys spin around? Just want to talk about why I prefer the loose heads to bind higher, guys. I want to come in a little bit. Okay. At the moment, he's sort of binding there. Sometimes a loose head will bind even a bit lower. If I'm a tight head and I bind here, his forearm is restricting my arm. Okay, what that means is, so you're there, I bind here, we go and I come through, and you can see it's hard for me to get this left shoulder to there because of his bind, and I end up doing this. And if I'm a standard club rugby player, I do this. So where am I already angling? Yeah, and I don't want to be angling in. Okay, as a tight end, I want him to try and be hitting out. I want to try and scrum the man. Righto, so if we get that guy binding a little bit higher, I can get my grip here, and we are working independently of each other's arms. That